Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another reaction interview. And this is to the, what is it? 7th episode of Initial D, second stage, which is Battle at Akagi. And I know the A6 is not featured in this one, so this is going to be an interesting confrontation. So let us begin. Starting with you. In 3, 2. Okay, dangerous car. Okay, I've had a few people make remarks about me watching the previews that they themselves will never watch the previews. I respect that, but I enjoy watching the previews as it helps to build tension for the next episode, and I like theorizing on what's to come in the next episode simply without even watching it. I will say this, going over the preview at the end quickly. It does show Mogi, and so there's going to be a follow up to that. Probably her interacting with Takumi, possibly. And it said dangerous car. And it continues, it shows Ryosuke and Kyochi still battling. The next episode will be the final bit of this race. I am assuming it will have to be the final bit of this race. Now, it's a dangerous car. There's a part of me that kind of wonders if maybe that's a secret premonition to the other 8-6 that was introduced. I'm wondering. Or if there's going to be an 8-6 versus 8-6 battle later on. I don't know. This episode is interesting in that in the beginning of the episode, Takumi is completely downtrodden. You know, like I surmised, he ended up snapping at his friend because he kept going on about the race and everything. And who can blame Takumi for getting mad? Like I said, it was a scenario where he had already been stabbed in the heart over the loss of the 8-6, and now hearing someone constantly talk about it is just twisting the knife. Now, of course, Itsuki here, I apologize if that's wrong, but he didn't know. He didn't know, so I'm not holding him at fault whatsoever. You can't blame the guy because he had no idea. He was just being him. He had no idea about the 8-6, so you can't blame him over it. And I don't think that he would have bothered Takumi over it. I really don't think he would have bothered Takumi over it had he have known about it. But there are situations where someone will know about something, and they'll do something exactly like Itsuki did, even though they know about something like that happened. And it hurts because it does feel like they're just twisting the knife. And so Takumi felt a sense of loss. Who can blame him? It's not just the 8-6. It's not just his dad's car. It's his car too. And he feels like he lost a family member. And again, like I said, who can blame him? I know the feeling of that because my two trucks, they feel like they're a part of my family. That old one's been in my family since before I was born, and now this other one is in my family now. They feel like family. And so if something happens to one, you feel like the way I personally look at it, if one of the trucks is in a garage, it's kind of like going to the hospital, being in a hospital, having a hospital stay for a human being. And so I relate to that. I honestly relate to that. Being concerned for a family member, which is actually a vehicle. I really do like how that the other guy here pulled up to the gas station and made the remark that they will avenge the 8-6. I really like how that they were actually on the 8-6's side here, uh, and that they were willing to totally avenge the 8-6 and deck the other guy in his nose, like just completely break his face. I really do like that. I honestly do. And I made the remark as well that it's that Takumi, he kept having those thoughts of the 8-6 of the night that the car blew its engine in his head. And yeah, it's a moment whenever you think about it. It's something that will haunt you. And I can kind of relate. Thank God I've never blown an engine, but I know the feeling of something that kind of haunts you because I think back right now. My truck is running, thank God, but I think back to that car show that I was at where the starter just completely went out on me, and how embarrassing it was to be the only vehicle there that left the parking lot on a flat deck. And it's still, I said that I would not feel better about that until I got to go to the same car show the following year and actually be able to drive away normal. Then I would feel like all was well. But until that happened, I wouldn't feel right about it. And I think that was, I think, last September, and so I won't be able to feel right about it until this September. But yeah, I know the feeling of that, of having something like that haunt you, and it's something that continues to haunt you, and it just never really completely goes away. But I will say this much, and this is kind of breaking away from the typical analysis, but I gotta say I love that even Itsuki here, he loves his car. Honestly, I think that Initial D is more enjoyed by people that love their cars, that love their vehicles. I'm not saying that Initial D can't be enjoyed by people who don't love their vehicles. I'm sure there are people out there who don't care about their vehicles like we do, like we gearheads do, um, or car guys, car girls do. But I really believe that people that love their cars more, that love their vehicles more, can really more understand Initial D as a whole and get more out of it. They're more able to relate to the characters, to what they are feeling, and they're more able to get in touch with it. There are people that I know personally that I work with, there was one guy that I did work with before he got fired. He didn't care about his vehicle. It was just something to get him from A to B. If I had showed him any bit this anime, first off, he never watched anime, so he would never get into it because of that alone. But he would also, I don't think, would be able to get into it because he doesn't understand the concept of loving your vehicle, of having respect for your vehicle, and he doesn't understand that at all. He wouldn't have understood it. But people, myself included, that love our vehicles, that's our baby. That's a member of the family. It's a part of you. We relate to these characters and we know the feel. And so I think that, like I said, I don't want to say that people that aren't into cars, that aren't into vehicles, I don't want to say that people that don't enjoy, don't care about their vehicles can't enjoy Initial D like others can. I'm sure there's some are. I'm sure there are some that can. But I truly believe that people that care about their vehicles are more able to enjoy Initial D on a much deeper level than those who don't love their vehicles. Some, anyway. But but that's just my thought. Now, I may end up having few people comment and say, "Hey, I'm not into cars, but I still love Initial D." That's cool. I mean, and I'm not saying that you can't, but for people like myself that have a vehicle that you love, that is your baby, something that you take more care of your vehicle than you do yourself. Um, we more understand the characters, their emotions, what they are going through, how their mind works, because we've been in that situation, and so we more understand and relate to the characters on that level. But like I said, there was a sudden 8.6 that was introduced, and at first, honestly, I thought it was Bunta. He had already done the engine swap, and he was already testing out the 8.6. However, the wheels appeared to be completely different on this 8.6, and it also did not have the Tofu Shop insignia on the right side. So it was different than that. But I really am confused about this new couple, or this guy and his sister that was introduced in this. I do like them. I want to like them, but I'm afraid to like them as well because I'm wondering what's going to happen with that. Uh, so, hey, if that's his sister or his girlfriend, please let me know in the comments. And I don't care to be spoiled on that. Just go ahead and tell me. You know, are they related? Are they not? But like I said in this episode, there was a lot riding. There's a lot riding on this race because you have a lot of people that have been taken down by this Evo crew. Um, and this Evo crew just suddenly came out of nowhere and just suddenly started beating people like crazy, taking over Gunma, one racer, one crew at a time. And so there's a lot riding on this. And it's not just that these guys want to take over all of Gunma, but this guy, Kyoshi, he wants to beat Ryosuke for two reasons. One is because he would feel like it was another step in taking over Gunma completely. The second reason is a personal reason. He was beat by Ryosuke before, and it was a very interesting thing because Ryosuke was basically he was applying a technological and scientific approach to racing. And this other guy, it's an interesting situation because you have two people that kind of do a similar thing. However, my money is definitely more. My money is on Ryosuke, and he's the guy that I'm rooting for because Ryosuke is able to look at things in a more laid back, civilized, and mature perspective. And this other guy, however, Kyoshi, he is certain that his technique is undefeated and is guaranteed to the point that he's willing to go as far as he has to prove it. Ryosuke seems more the kind of person that if he saw a difference in data, he would be able to analyze it. I think he would be interested in the concept of a change in data, and he would instead find it as a challenge and begin to analyze it. Whereas this guy, the concept of being defeated or a change in data on from his perspective is something that he doesn't seem that he would happily or willingly accept. And he's wanting to beat Ryosuke because he wants to get revenge and beat him and make Ryosuke feel the same anguish that he felt, that Kyoshi felt before. And he's wanting to prove that he's right, that his technique is right. And it's interesting that the episode here gives glimpses of a year ago to try to help you to understand more of why Kyoshi is doing what he's doing. But it's interesting that the episode does not, however, give you any glimpses into Ryosuke's head or any thought processes that he's having. Normally, the episodes will let you tune in on what the characters are thinking during a race. But here, it completely avoided Ryosuke, which makes me wonder if there's a reason why. This guy beating Ryosuke is not so clear cut. I'm wanting to believe that there is a plan that Ryosuke has, a technique that he has. And honestly, I really don't want to see Kyoshi beat Ryosuke. I don't, because Ryosuke, I do like the guy, I do. But we did see some other development with this episode, in that Takumi now understands that he made a mistake. He raced the A6 to its limit because he was angry. And I think I sort of analyzed that in my last episode, that Takumi would regret doing that because he was allowing the anger that he felt with Mogi, he was allowing that to cloud his judgment to the point that he ended up he used the race as a means to try to deal with his anger. And I said that it's never a good idea to do something like that, to jump headfirst into something just because you're angry, because you're not using a logical sense of thinking, you're not using common sense, and so you're not able to analyze the situation and think about the consequences of your actions or the repercussions that what you're doing could have. Um, And Ryosuke didn't take that. Takumi didn't take that into consideration at all. He was angry. He was wanting to sort of use the race as a means to try to help him deal, to try to vent his frustration. In a sense, the race to him was exactly like someone wanting to punch a punching bag to try to vent their frustration. And here he used the race as that. And I think he is feeling guilt, feeling like he overworked, he didn't take care of the 8-6 the way that he should have. And now he sees his mistake. He realizes that he should not have raced while angry, and maybe he might still have the 8-6. And he sees that now. And it's a mistake that he made, yes. Is it a mistake that other people have made? Yes, we have all made mistakes like that. But it's a situation where you make a mistake like that, and it's something that you have to learn from. You know, you learn from a mistake, you learn not to do it again. It may haunt you for the rest of your life, but in a way that's kind of a good thing, because it helps you to remember not to make that mistake again. Although I'm definitely going to say trying to forget about it is a good thing as well. You know, like putting it out of your mind, even if it's just in the back of your mind, okay. But I'm curious as to what's going to happen in the next episode. Ryosuke, I'm really wanting him to be Kyoshi because I really want to see Kyoshi get his butt handed to him on a silver, get his balls handed to him on a silver platter. But and I'm also, I know that Mogi is not a permanent fixture within the Initial D concept. She's not a permanent thing, a permanent character. I'm not really sure overall what fans think of her or thought of her as a whole, like both with the anime and with the manga. I'm not really sure if fans hated her or she was kind of an okay character or what. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments. Feel free to go ahead and spoil that for me. Because I'm curious, honestly, like from from a more veteran fan's perspective, like what did other fans think of Mogi? What did they think? Were they glad whenever because I read that she left during a certain part of the manga and the anime, so I'm wondering, what did fans think? Were they happy whenever she left? Is she just one of those characters that they were happy that they wrote off, or you know, did they want her to come back in a better way? Do they wish that she was still a part of Initial D, or what? But yeah, definitely looking forward to the next episode to see what happens. But thanks again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. And thanks again for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.